hit record. Hello, going to start again. My name is Carrie Severson. I am a published writer, and I'm a storyteller trainer. I've been a published writer for about 20 years, and I started writing for the masses when I was 19. I got a job at a college newspaper and became a general reporter at that time. I've written about everything from politics to celebrities, and both are kind of hard to cover. I'll be honest about that. I'm an entrepreneur. I have two businesses. About 6 years ago, I decided I wanted to change the way girls treat girls. And so I created a nonprofit called Severson Sisters. And I used my storytelling ability to create a series of workbooks that teaches girls how to be better friends to other girls. And so we have a series of workbooks on the market called the Supergirl Guide, and they are sold nationally. Our publisher is called Morgan James, and it's quite fun. I started a blog with Severson Sisters, and it was highly read. But at some point, I got tired of having thousands of people read my blog every week and not communicate with me. So I moved my personal writing from my own platform to Huffington Post in 2014. And when I did that, everything changed for me. I started storytelling on stage. I started a second business where I now train entrepreneurs how to get published. And I work with them in courses, and I have automated courses and live courses. So that's me. What we're going to cover today is I'm going to talk about the overall concept of storytelling and what's happening with it. I think it's kind of cloudy right now in the online world. I'm going to give you, actually came up with 4 tips to help you get personal stories published yourself. Talk to you about a live writing class I have launching next month, answer some questions, and then actually have a storytelling, it's a tank that says storyteller on it. Hi, Rebecca, thanks for coming. And I'm going to give this away at the end as well. So as a reminder, I will send this out so you don't have to take notes if you don't want. I'll send it out afterwards. So, hi, Sarah. The concept of storytelling, in my opinion, is kind of cloudy right now. A lot of times I get questions like, what's the difference between storytelling and content writing? What's the difference between article writing and storytelling? What's the difference between essay writing and storytelling? So first of all, content writing and storytelling, value posts that you're creating on Facebook, content posts that you're creating and turning into newsletters, if they're picked up and published on a media outlet, it should be looked at as the exception to the rule, not the rule itself. Storytelling is a buzz term in the coaching and online world. In the media industry, it's called essay writing or article writing. And so storytelling is the big umbrella. The way that it's broken down and the difference in how your storytelling is really essay or article. Point of view really makes everything different. These days, what editors want is a combination of article and essay. The best essays are first person, 500 to 700 word pieces that incorporate your voice as well as statistics and research. So today we're going to talk about how you can go off and get published with your own personal essays/stories. I use the term interchangeably, which may confuse some people, but in the media industry, it's called essay. In the online world, it's called storytelling. And again, you can feel free to ask questions over here in the chat box, and I'll get to them later. Okay, so the benefit of storytelling, first and foremost, before the tips. having personal essays published was by far the best business decision I ever made. When I started sharing my own experiences as an entrepreneur, and I started sharing from a place of authenticity and vulnerability, it was like the universe co-conspired to bring in all these different opportunities to me. I was asked to write for additional media outlets because I started personal storytelling. Some are paid, some are not. I was asked to come on stage and share. As a result, I now have a speaking agent who books me on stages around the world. And in fact, I head out to New York next Tuesday to speak in front of, I think it's 70 coaches. And that happened because of personal storytelling. And I started writing for Huffington Post in October of 2014. So in less than 2 years, I started a second business, have clients, got a speaking agent, write for big outlets like Redbook, Mind Body Green, She Knows, and a variety of others. And you can do the same thing. When you're sharing, infinite possibilities come back into place. So you could be asked to partner on a project, you could be asked to speak, you could be asked to, you could be approached to write a book because of an essay. Who knows? Infinite possibilities, right? All right, so first and foremost, I talk about storytelling from an energy perspective, because when you're sharing from a place of peace and love and joy, that's the energy. The story itself is going to resonate and carry, and it's what your result is going to be. So I like working with clients who are ready to share personal stories from a place of peace and almost from a place of being healed versus anything else, because it's just what makes the result of your story that much more powerful. All right, here we go. Tip number 1. So a lot of times what I see, clients do, or these content posts, or I'll offer like a free 30-minute connection call, and I'll get people who are like, I want to write about this topic. Where should I write about it for? And it doesn't really work like that. You can have an overall topic for sure, but what editors are really looking for is relevance. They want to know up-to-date information about your topic. So online media outlets specifically are looking to fill their feed with super updated story ideas about a topic that just got covered somewhere else, about like right now the Olympics, things that are super relevant in culture. They want your personal viewpoint, your personal angle, more than a super broad topic. So my very first tip for you is to create Google Alert. Have you guys, can you show me in the chat box here, do you guys have a Google Alert set up? Do you know what Google Alert is? No? Okay. All right, so Google Alert is this magical component that will pull, it's like an internet magnet. It will pull in, okay, good. It will pull in topic ideas from other outlets. So go to googlealert.com, I'm sorry, google.com/alerts. And I will share my screen here. Can you guys see this? I hope you can see this. Are you guys seeing me, or are you seeing Google Alerts? You're seeing me? Okay. All right, well, it's not cooperating, so I'm just going to talk you through this. Go to googlealert.com and, oh, here. There, now you can see it. googlealert.com/alerts. You'll see up here in this box, create a alert about, here are the alerts I have. Storytelling, burnout, clean eating, fertility drugs, manifesting, meditation, writing retreats. These are things that I'm interested in writing personal essays about. So you're going to want to put in parentheses your topic and then hit create alert. When you do that, you'll see that it will list it here, and make sure that each Google alert you're creating is a separate alert. And then in your settings here, you can hit when they come to you, and I would highly recommend you not do it any more than once a day. Otherwise, it's just going to get inundated and kind of icky. So that is that. That is my first tip for you. Now I have to figure out how to get this back. Hang on one second while I figure this out. Can alerts come once per week? Yeah, you can have, it's once per week. You can do it several times a day. Definitely don't do it more than once a day though. It will get super inundated. You guys, I can't figure out how to get this back now. One second, sorry you guys. Hit escape. Okay. I did, it didn't work. All right. Can you guys, are you guys seeing me? Or are you seeing me super small? Sometimes it freezes. Hit escape. I'm trying. I'm gonna. Well, I can't see you guys like at all. Shoot, now I did that and it won't undo it. All right, well, I don't want to waste time messing around with this. I'm not sure why it won't undo this share. I can't see you guys. So I will just do that. So at least I can see some of you. Okay, so now that you actually created a Google Alerts, now it's going back to what do you do with that, right? So I have Google Alerts set up for burnout, for example, and what Google pulled for me this morning was a story that the Washington Post covered on burnout happening to athletes. And what I could do was I could pitch an outlet that I write for, something about how athletes aren't the only people to experience burnout, entrepreneurs could as well. It's a relevant topic. It's being talked about right now because of the Olympics and athleticism, but burnout definitely happens it definitely happens to entrepreneurs as well as athletes. But what I could do is make that story even stronger by talking about the number of athletes that hit burnout and the number of entrepreneurs that hit burnout. Relevant, specific, and pretty timely. You'll have an easier time getting a story published when you're pulling, when you're using what's happening out here in the ethers already about your topic, and you're pitching story ideas to editors that are up to date. So my second tip for you, in journalism school, we have this, there was a saying, show me, don't tell me. It's something that every professor loves to talk about. Show me, don't tell me is this concept of how your voice comes across in what you're writing. And narrative storytelling is super, it's very common to write. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read these chat things about me not getting small. So show me, don't tell me comes down to your voice. Storytelling is about you being super authentic, about you being super vulnerable. So the reason I like to talk about storytelling from an energy perspective is because storytelling is about your soul. Essay writing is about sharing a little bit of your soul with these people. It can be super scary to do that. So I like to help people get really grounded in how to do that. So how to write a vulnerable narrative is really the question here. Vulnerability doesn't have to be this heavy, scary thing. It is, it's more about honesty. It's just a way for you to get super real with whoever's reading your work, your stories. The best piece of advice I got from an editor who is now a well-known author is this. Your readers are your best friend. They want to know the real you. If you're sitting across from them at dinner, you wouldn't talk at them. You would be super vivid in your language. You would have this sort of connection instantly. That's how you should approach every story you're writing. It can be super scary, but it doesn't have to be. So they want to hear the real version of your essay, your story. So don't hide from them, don't talk to them, show them, paint the picture. Your essays are moving pictures, really. And you've got one paragraph to hook the reader. And once they're hooked, they're going to follow you into this 500 to 700 word journey. But if you're approaching your story and asking them questions right out of the gate, or talking to them, it's going to come across almost as if you're talking down to them. The reader doesn't want to know your thoughts. They want to be invited into what you're experiencing, see it for the first time themselves, and then kind of pull their own conclusions. So here are some tips for you to get really comfortable writing authentically. When you are writing, when you're writing, please think of the feeling that you have in that moment. What does that moment look like to you? What are descriptive words that you can use to describe what you're experiencing? And then remember, pretend that your story is really a moving picture and paint the picture. I'm going to hit this button, stop share. If I hit stop share, will it go back to being normal? Keep your fingers crossed that I don't disconnect you guys. Ta-da! Sorry. All right, my third tip for you. Okay, so relevant topic is obviously really important, and subject matter is really important. The angle of your story is the most important. The angle of your story, for example, I write about fertility drugs. I write about preserving fertility and IVF experience. My angle is being single and going through this. And so I pitched Redbook 6 things to know about dating on fertility drugs. Super specific, right? You don't see a lot of content like that. She Knows published things all single ladies should know about fertility drugs. Super specific angle, very attractive to editors, a relevant topic. That specific topic is more known as a evergreen topic, but it's pretty consistently wanted. So again, it's not just about a good topic, it's about a super specific angle. One way to intrigue an editor is to pitch them what's known as a listicle. listicles are very common right now in media. There are these things that are tips, how-tos, things to know. 3 tips to know about subject matter X. 6 relevant how-to, 6 ways to subject matter Y. So when you're pulling your topic and you find an angle, see if you can break it down into ways that your reader can learn about it. That's what's known as a listicle. That will help you get really specific with your angle. So for me, again, writing about fertility drugs, my angle is being single. I'm working with meditative coaches who are interested in helping moms stay grounded, and she's writing to other moms. So find your angle and make your angle, find your niche and make your niche your angle. Does that make sense? Can you give me some feedback in the chat box? I want to make sure that this makes sense to you guys. Okay, good. So if you're thinking of ideas right now, use this as an opportunity to pitch me. If you have story ideas that you're sitting on, write them in the chat box. Let me give you some feedback on them. Okay, so I have a bonus tip for you guys. Obviously, your story has to match up with your story idea has to match up with your the target audience that you're pitching. So when you pull Google alerts, you've got these timely topics that are coming to you. It's important that once you come up with your angle, your specific angle, and you're thinking of how you can not just pitch the editor, but reach the reader. The editor is the gatekeeper to the reader, so you have to first impress the editor in order to get to the reader. Once you come up with a unique angle, find the right outlet for that story, and then research the outlet. Make sure that they're not already publishing anything similar to what you are pitching. And I would actually even suggest that you do a devil's advocate to something that they just published, particularly if it's in your field, in your topic. Do you have a different angle? Can you do devil's advocate on that topic? Okay, so Alexa, 5 ways to maintain sanity while caring for elderly parents and small children. That's really cool. How to stop drinking while having fun at the same time. Yeah, I think these are both really good. So what I would do is, okay, so for the stop drinking while having fun, I would make it even more specific, and I would do 3 ways to have fun at parties without alcohol. 5 ways to maintain sanity while caring for elderly parent and small children. Yeah, I would probably do, it feels like that would be 2 different, it feels like it could even be 2 different story ideas. So 5 ways to maintain sanity while caring for elderly parents. Feels like it could be the sandwich generation. I love that. It feels like it could have a very specific market. There actually are caregiver publications, and they're constantly looking for new content. And then there's plenty of online magazines targeted to moms, written by moms, who are looking for humor stories specifically. So for me, what comes forward right away, and I'm using my intuition here, how to keep your sanity while caring for small children. I would think that that could be a humorous piece in a mom magazine, and then the elderly parent piece would be more empathetic. And so I would actually separate those into 2 separate things. And then Jenny, do you have, did I miss Jenny's? Jenny, do you got something? Oh, things to know to go through multiple miscarriages with strength and grace on your way to fulfill. Yes. Things to know when going through multiple miscarriages. Yeah. How to, Yeah, hang on a second. How to find strength and grace in your fertility journey after multiple miscarriages, something like that. Yeah, that obviously super sensitive. I think that's a wild, a really large audience in terms of something like that could be published on mainstream media outlets. I would have to really see the things to know part if you're going to be talking about how to find strength and grace after multiple miscarriages without mental issues. Yes. So it's a huge topic. I would actually break that down a little bit more into how to find strength and grace after multiple miscarriages, period. That's one story idea. How to move through fertility journey without losing your mental stability, something like that. This is not my strength. How to get more rest even while you keep moving. Jenny, how to get more rest even while you keep moving. So how to keep your energy up throughout the day, things like that. Is that what you were talking about, Jenny? How to get more rest throughout the day. There's something there about energy and avoiding burnout for sure. Boundaries comes to mind for that. That would be a lot of fun to play with, actually. Death of a family pet, how to teach your children about death. That's a really good one. I love that. Very strong topic, something that you don't really see in mainstream media, but it should be 5 ways to talk to your family about losing family pet. Yeah, Alexia, yeah. So this is really fun. I love seeing these. Sounds like overwhelm. The overwhelm, if you're talking about me, this is my sweet spot. I'm really good at coming up with story ideas and helping you get super specific in them. This is how this happens though. You come up with these really big story ideas and then you got to break them down even smaller to get your angle super specific. So the editor buys into it, so your reader gain from it. The editor is your gatekeeper to the reader. The reader wants to learn from you about something very specific. We are in an instant society. We're in a scrolling society. Essays are super short now. 500 to 700 words is what everyone is looking for. And they want to absorb as much as they can in as short amount of time as they can. So all of these ideas are super interesting. The energy while moving. Oh yeah, for sure. Jenny's piece, yeah. In a Christian forum, it's resting in your identity in Christ instead of trying to please the world. That is fantastic, Jenny. I love that. There's a publication. It begins with an R. I'm escaping it. I'll think of it and send it to you. That's really phenomenal. I love that piece. Relevant Magazine. That's it. Their online publication accepts essays, so you could pitch them. All right, keep it going. This is fun. I'm liking this. This is my jam right here. All right, so before I give away this storytelling tank, what I want to do is, do you guys have any questions about Google Alerts or the difference between storytelling, essay writing, article writing, content writing? A lot of times online coaches want to find a way to get their Facebook content posts as a basis for essays. So if you have questions about that, we can talk about that too. So I want to talk to you about my class. On September 7th, I'm launching a 6-week live writing masterclass. It's for entrepreneurs who are essentially looking to do this, looking to take personal essays and get them published. We're meeting once a week on Zoom. It'll be an hour a week like this. I focus on one kind of topic of the writing industry each week. We have a private Facebook group. I'm taking 25 students. I'll edit your work and help you get published. So I'll introduce you to editors that I know, help you pitch the editors, help you form relationships with the editors so that once our class is done, you can go off and do this on your own. I like to think of myself as the training wheels for your storytelling experience, so that once we are finished, you can go off and do this. You get me and my attention in our Facebook group for 6 solid weeks. And then you get an opportunity to obviously relate to one another, answer each other, support each other. So again, we're covering what publications you can submit to, introduce you to editors, how to pitch the editors, I'll help you come up with new story ideas, edit your work. And really the marketing piece is what I'm finding so many people need help with. How do you market your essay once it's published to increase your platform and increase your email list and increase your client list? Just because you have a broader platform doesn't mean that your client list is going to explode right away. Whenever I'm published, my platform expands by a minimum of 25 people. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The people that I really like to focus on, though, are the ones that come over to my website, download my free thing, and then give me an opportunity to create a relationship with them, invite them over to my Facebook group, and then invite them into things like this. That's how this whole thing happens. So I like to actually help you create your own marketing plan and your own funnel once your piece is published. So the 6-week live writing course, early bird is $597. And I'm going to put that here, though. It's Carrie Severson, Masterclass.com is the website you can enroll in. Early bird will end on Saturday, which is August 20th. If you have any questions about the class, you always email me, carrie@carrieseverson.com. You guys have that. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here and look at some of these other things. My idea is that I want to let people know that the road to healing alcohol addiction can be fun and delicious versus gloomy, sad, and hard. What would awesome titles for that angle be? Okay, something about recovery. The word grace comes to mind. So how to move through recovery through ease and grace. How your diet impacts alcohol cravings. I saw something on Instagram that you posted about celery, and celery being like a celery juice or parsley juice or something like that being oh yeah, Ginny, and you guys should totally talk. Ginny's got this awesome piece. But that's what I would do, Atalia. I would create something around how to choose ease and grace around recovery, and there's something about how your diet can impact recovery. Yeah. Celery juice to take away alcohol cravings. Yes. I would see if you can find 2 additional foods that do that. So 3 ways to reduce alcohol cravings. And then celery being one. There's got to be 2 others that you can find. Stuff like that. That would be, people would eat that up. What else? Do you guys have any questions about do you have any questions about the tips that I gave you about show me, don't tell me, specific angles, specific media? Any questions about the masterclass? Show me, don't tell me from a miscarriage perspective could be pretty emotional. Yes, I get it. That will be a hard thing to write. Here's what I can tell you about the really hard stories. The harder the story, the scarier the story. Let me say that. I'm going to say, let's rephrase it and think of it as scary, because it is a hard thing to talk about. It's also really important thing to talk about. So again, storytelling is an energy, right? If we're sharing our own personal experiences on these massive platforms, and we're doing it from a place of already going through the experience and already being healed, and healed being a very relative term in your own sort of process, you give people an opportunity to learn from you. You give them an opportunity to go through a little bit of ease and grace themselves. And so having somebody with you, supporting you, having someone edit your work to maybe help you carry this is definitely important. I love my editors that I work with. But I have to tell you that when I'm writing these really scary pieces about what fertility was like for me, going through fertility, and let me tell you that I had my eggs frozen 2 weeks ago, and it was unsuccessful. The doctor pushed me on 2 additional days of drugs when he shouldn't have, and as a result, it didn't work. I'm writing about it, and I was thinking the editor was going to, help me get really clear, but she didn't. She loved everything that I had put out to begin with. So it is going to be emotional, but it's doable, it's important, and as long as you've got a really supportive system behind you, you can totally do this. Okay. Do you talk about approaching editors in the masterclass? Yes. So I have pitch templates that I've used to successfully secure stories, and you get access to my pitch templates. I actually I like to act as a hybrid of publicist and personal storyteller trainer in the beginning. So if I know that I'm being considered right now for Self magazine, if I know that Self is looking for something, or Redbook or Mind Body Green, if I know they're looking for something and I know you're writing it, I'll do my best to make an introduction so that you have a new funnel yourself. But teaching you how to approach editors is most important so that you can do it when the class is over with. Class starts September 7th. It is once a week for 6 weeks. Zoom calls once a week on Wednesdays. They'll be recorded, posted in our Facebook group. You can post in our Facebook group, and then I edit your work in there. Unlimited email to me for 6 weeks. Again, $5.97. It's a really good deal. And I'm only taking 25 students. So it is something that I highly recommend you get in on before Saturday. And then would it turn people off though? I actually have humor about some of it because I've had 17 of them. Oh yeah. No, offend somebody else. No, I'm excited to work with you. I know you're already in the class, and so we're gonna jam this out. No, I think there are, from the humor perspective, we'll want to go towards media outlets that are looking for that. You could offend people, but if you're on an outlet that's looking for your story angle and your voice, and they're looking for humorous pieces, you're not going to offend anybody. It's going to be a welcomed conversation. Finding the right outlet is going to be key. Do you have to totally heal yourself before writing a story on a specific topic? How do you talk about it so it's valuable and a lesson to the reader? Okay, so storytelling is a very healing component. I journal and I write. There's 2 different things. I journal in the morning, and I actually work with people on healing your story as you're writing your story. So it's not necessarily that it has to be completely healed, but you have to have some space from it, some breathing room, so it's not like this. You want to pull it out a little bit and have some space here for you to see the whole thing. If it's still up on you like this, it's going to be really hard to see through it, and even harder for your reader to gain value from it. So these pieces that you're talking about, Atalia, recovery from an ease and grace perspective is a huge story. We can start with the pieces that you're already healed in, like the food perspective. People aren't talking about that. How to reduce alcohol cravings through going vegan. That's not out there. That would be a really hot topic, particularly for outlets like Mind Body Green who are interested in a spiritual perspective. We could start with areas like that and then move into the bigger stuff as you start to heal more about it. when I first started writing about burnout, I didn't start writing about burnout until a year after I went through it. And even as I wrote it and it caught on fire and I was asked to go to New York City and stand on stage in front of hundreds of people and talk about my burnout experience, I could feel it here. And I had to have this moment where it was just like, this is my truth and I want to share it with you. And I did that on stage in front of 300 strangers, and it propelled me into something I didn't even know I was looking for. I wrote a manuscript. I started talking to literary agents. I started a second business. So the term healing, again, is very relative. You're going to heal every single day, right? Your story is an ongoing story. The important thing is that you start sharing what you're able to teach. Does that make sense? Storytelling is a soulful tool. It's a marketing tool. But really, we're learning from one another when we're standing in our truth and we're sharing how you can learn from our experience. So are there any other questions, comments, concerns? I'm going to send this out after, and I'm going to include the CarrieSeversonMasterclass.com email or URL in there. And I'll do this again. I love this. All right, you guys, I've got a large storyteller tank. It's black, and word storyteller is on in gold. Think of post a number 1 through 35 in the chat box, and the person that gets closest to my number in my head wins it. Ready, set, go. Oh, Rebecca, it was 14. Rebecca won it. Yay, Rebecca. Okay, Rebecca, can you email me, Carrie@CarrieSeverson.com, and send me an address in which I can send you this beautiful tank? I buy these for my clients, and I send them to my clients. It's made from Spoonful of Freckles. Her name is Rochelle Smith. She lives in Phoenix, and I love these. These are fantastic. I literally walk around with that, and it's a great conversation starter. People are like, you're a, email again, Carrie, Carrie, @CarrieSeverson.com, SEVERSON. I was standing at the UPS store a couple days ago, and I had my tank on, and this older gentleman was like, you're a storyteller. What do you storytell about? And I'm like, right now, my fertility. And he was like this. And I was like, I gotta go, I'll see you later. I felt so bad for him. Oh my gosh, he was like, my grandpa's age, so. Oh well, it's the truth. What are you gonna do? Okay. All right, you guys, this was the most fun. I hope you've gained something out of it. I will send this out. Consider the masterclass, and I wish you a very beautiful day and happy storytelling. Bye, everyone.